From now on, let's start to study about the search of a determiner. The first determiner is the indefinite article a. A determiner a specifies an object with the description as one of the general objects that has the feature to define a noun and is unspecified among the objects indicated by the noun. The indefinite article as a determiner reveals that the number of the subject or object described by the indefinite article a is 1, and the subject or object described by the indefinite article a is not specified. The determiner a does not describe a pronoun that indicates a specified object. The determiner a cannot specify an object indicated by an abstract noun, a proper noun, or a material noun whose unit to count the number of the object is not agreed. The second explanation is about the number of the subject or object described by the indefinite article a. The subject or object whose unit is not yet occurred in a linguistic group cannot be described by the indefinite article a to reveal that the number of the subject or object is 1. In other words, the subject or object indicated by a general noun can be described by the indefinite article a as a determiner because the unit of the subject or object indicated by the general noun is occurred by the speakers in the linguistic group preceding me. The first explanation is about the fact that the subject or object described by the indefinite article a is unspecified. In the group of subject or object indicated by a general noun, the speaker can indicate a random subject or object in the group with the application of the indefinite article a as the determiner. There is a clause. I encountered a bird. A noun bird can be described by the determiner a because the noun bird is one of the general nouns to indicate an object whose unit is agreed. The description by the determiner a conveys the intention of the speaker to indicate any object that has the features to define the noun bird among the objects indicated by the noun bird. The general noun bird is described by the indefinite article a by the description of the indefinite article a. We can understand that the object indicated by the general noun bird is one of the objects indicated by the general noun bird. The speaker intends to indicate an object that is new to the current context of the conversation. And the speaker can indicate the object because the speaker identifies an object whether the object includes the features to be defined by the general noun, bird. The second sort of determiner is the determiner age. A noun or a pronoun described by the determiner age makes every single subject or object be stated as a subject or an object in a subject-object relationship in a clause. The subject or object described by the determiner age is considered to be a unit, so the noun described by the determiner age is a singular noun to indicate the one. The determiner age describes the indefinite pronoun one, and from the description by the determiner age, the subject indicated by the indefinite pronoun can be described by the intransitive verb goes. The subject indicated by the indefinite pronoun one is commonly described by the intransitive verb goes. So the subject included in the range indicated by the indefinite pronoun one has in common to the fact that the subject is described by the intransitive verb goes. The application of the determiner age reveals that every subject included in the range indicated by the indefinite pronoun one can be a group whose component is described by the intransitive verb goes commonly. Every subject is described by the intransitive verb goes. As we can understand, the definition of the determiners each and every are similar. The focus of the speaker is slightly different. The speaker focuses on the component of the group with the application of the determiner age, and the speaker focuses on the fact that the entire subject as the component is included in a group commonly, while the subject shares the same trait, that the subject is described by the same verb. From the application of the determiner every, the pronoun one, which is one of the indefinite pronouns to indicate the unspecified object, sets a unit to include every single subject as a whole and makes every subject included in the unit or a group described by the predicate goes back to the rightist position. The form of the intransitive verb goes also signifies that the subject of the clause is a non-participant in the conversation with the speaker. The subject of the clause H1 goes back to the righteous position is indicated by the phrase of the indefinite pronoun one described by the determiner H. So the listeners can understand that the number of the subject is 1 as a group, and the subject does not participate in the conversation with the speaker and the listeners at the present. There is a conference. Each of you is generous. The determiner H can be applied as an indication, especially as a pronoun, to indicate a component of the group of listeners indicated by the personal pronoun you, and the subject-object relationship is mediated by the preposition of. The preposition of reveals that the subject of the preposition is a representative of the object indicated by the personal pronoun you as the object of the preposition of. So we can understand that the subject of the preposition is included in the object indicated by the personal pronoun you. The pronoun H indicates the object specified by the determiner H. We can understand that this is the extensive application of the determiner H as a pronoun H to indicate the subject as a component of the group in this clause indicated by the personal pronoun you. So we can understand that the pronoun H indicates the listener as a person. For example, let's suppose that there are 7 listeners indicated by the personal pronoun you. We can understand that the pronoun H indicates listener 1, the listener 1 to the listener 7 as a component of the group indicated by the personal pronoun you, the listeners. To be described by the be verb is commonly. The preposition of mediates the subject-object relationship to signify that the subject has the same characteristics as a part of the object. The subject of the preposition of is one of the object. The object can be a group because the object shares the same characteristic. So, surely, the subject of the preposition of has the trait shared by the object of the preposition of. So the pronoun H indicates every single listener indicated by the personal pronoun you.